Hello everyone, my name is Atreya and I'll be presenting our work on leveraging named data networking for industrial automation, opportunities and challenges. Let's start with the outline of the presentation. First, we'll look at an overview of named data networking, why it is important and some of the applications. We'll also look at the terminologies used in NDN, and then we'll have a look at the emerging trends in industrial automation control systems. And then we'll have a look at why we should explore Indian with industrial automation by talking about name-based routing in network caching and NDN libraries and OPC implementations. As part of this work, we have also done some preliminary experiments. So we'll be talking about the impact of cache placement by talking about its experimental setup and results and discussions. So we'll finally talk about the conclusions and future work. When we talk about TCP IP architecture, so one of the major things about it is that it is communication oriented, or it has to get data from point A to point B, which means that the location of the data becomes important and not the data itself. In case of the modern internet, two major use cases are IoT and content consumption. In case of IoT, scalability becomes very important because of the sheer number of devices. And in case of content consumption, the data itself becomes important and not its location. This is where ICN would come into picture, where uh, um, ICN makes data to be the most relevant entity and not anything else. NDN, which is a popular architectural design on under the name of ICN, has several studies under it, which has found applications in smart homes with electrical devices or mobile military networks where multicasting is important. And in this paper, we'll only be looking at how we can explore NDN with industrial networks. So we are talking about two types of packets in NDN, which is one is the interest packet, which is like a request packet, and it is originated usually from a client. And then there is a data packet, which originates usually from a server or a producer, but it can also sometimes come from an intermediate machine, as we will look further. So in case of Indian, we talk about consumer and producer and not client and server. A consumer is kind of like a client which pulls the content, and then a producer is like a server which provides the content. NDN router is substantially different from a IP router in the sense that IP router has much less, or the NDN router has much more storage capabilities and much more processing capabilities as well. In the case of Indian routers, we will see how interest and data flows here. In the case of interest, when it comes to the Indian router, it first is checked if the corresponding data is available in the content store. And if it is, the data is sent. If it is not, the next stop is pending interest table, where if the interest is present, then they add the incoming phase to that PIT entry. When we say incoming phase, that means that the networking interface through which the interest has come to that incoming in phase is added to the PIT entry. If the interest is not found in PIT as well, then it is checked in the forwarding information base or FIB. If an appropriate entry is found, then it is forwarded to the next entity. Otherwise, a negative acknowledgement is sent back. When the data comes into the Indian router, if the data is unsolicited, then the data is discarded. If it is not, then it is stored in the content store and forwarded further. When we talk about Industry 4.0, the backbone of it would be an efficient and scalable network infrastructure. And a scalable networking infrastructure would have three layers of communication in this case. So the lowest layer or the physical layer is something that enables machine to machine communication, or some of the examples for this would be 5G or TSN. TSN, that is time sensitive networking, which is a deterministic form of Ethernet and provides an upper limit on the latency, unlike traditional Ethernet, which is a best effort delivery. In case of middle layer, one of the prominent example would be OPC UA, or Open Platform Communication Unified Architecture, which is a open platform that is developed by a consortium of industries, which thought that it is important to have an open platform for proprietary technologies to work together. Now, the upper layer or the third layer is nothing but the internet here. Let's look at the current communication infrastructure for ISCS, which is working with TCP/IP. At the top are applications which are used by manufacturing industries, and then those applications are using OPC UA, which is in turn using uh, a host of protocols that are used to secure communication, to achieve PubSub and to achieve web services and whatever, and which are using TCP/IP. The dashed line here shows the host of protocols that is used through OPC UA. When we talk about OPC UA working with NDN, or the way we should be exploring it, we will talk about three main features of NDN. And one of the first one is name-based routing. In case of OPC UA, which uses names to identify devices in industrial plants, if we have a IP-based naming for the devices, then there will be a mapping entity required in between, which would translate from IP to the name that is used by OPC UA. In case we use NDN instead of TCP/IP, then the mapping entity becomes obsolete, and we can directly name the devices from OPC UA to the NDN. So just to consider one example where how we can use the hierarchical naming of NDN. If we consider that there is a factory with several production floors, and there are multiple rows in a particular production floor, and then there are multiple temperatures sensors in a single row, we can see that if with one single query we can fetch all the data from the temperature sensors in a single row. For example, we can use as this slide shows, /prod1 row 3 temp all would fetch us all the temperature sensors data from a specific row of a specific floor. But here the most important thing would become that the naming conventions has to be standardized before any kind of deployment of NDN is there in ISCS. The second feature we want to talk about is in-network caching. In case of ISCS, even a small amount of cache of size 1 KB can make a significant difference, because 1 KB can contain 85 entries that are averaged at 12 bytes. And the second important point in network caching is that the caching policies of ISCS is different from traditional caching policies, and that is because in case of industrial networks, the traffic is short-lived and the latency has to be minimum, and because it is a real-time system, and also the IoT devices will have to be very power efficient. So considering these are the considerations that will make caching policies of ISCS very different from a normal caching policy. When we talk about the third feature, we will see how NDN libraries can be integrated with OPC UA implementations. NDN CXX library is developed in C++, and it exposes a set of APIs to program network applications. So OPC UA is specified in IEC 62541, and Open 62541 is the official implementation of IEC UA that is developed in C. But it also contains a network API which can be used as plug and play with different networking layers. So we can also use NDN as a networking layer in Open 62541, which we think is the best OPC UA implementation to work with, given the conditions for NDN. And also it has a support for PubSub, which we can achieve also through NDN CXX. Now we look at how the picture of OPC UA differs. when we consider Indian into it. So previously we saw that there was a host of protocols that were working with Indian. Now we see that all those can also be achieved just through Indian. For example, Indian supports natively pops up, and then Indian also secures its data natively without requiring any other protocols. So that is how the picture will change with an Indian stack. So we look at the experiments that we have done as part of this paper, and there were two sets of experiments. One set of experiment is the there were several let us say there were several actuators requesting the data from a same field device, which means that there is a single flow of data. And then there was second set of experiments where several actuators requesting data from several field devices. That means that there were multiple flows of data. So in case of the first set of experiments where there is a single flow of data, the RTT is maximum when the caching is disabled. And when the caching is near the producer, it becomes a little bit less, but it's not the minimum. And it is the minimum when the caching is nearest to the consumer. So the RTT moves along in that pattern, and that is the same for all these three experiments. In the second set of experiments where there are multiple flows of data, there is a slight bit of discrepancy here where the RTT of RTT in case where caching is disabled and where caching is near the producer is almost the same, or it is a little bit more in case of where caching is near the producer. This is because there are multiple flows of data, and the in the cache itself the data becomes more, and due to which the latency of cache hit or miss also is more, resulting in a higher latency or higher RTT as well. So coming to conclusions, we can say that Indian appears to be a promising architecture for industrial networks. Standardizing the naming conventions is very important. That is a extremely important point for ISCS as well. So new cache placement strategies needed in industrial networks for India. So they are different from the traditional caching policies that we have seen earlier. So a good support for Indian libraries is available and OPCU implementations. So some of the future works would be an integration of Indian APIs with Open62 541, or evaluation with realistic traffic patterns using IoT devices, or we can see how Indian benefits from deterministic networking, or TSN. That is how TSN can act with Indian in picture. So that is one of the future work. This work was sponsored by ABB Global Industries and Services Private Limited. We thank them for the support. Thank you.